Five, four, three, two, one. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Jester's Court podcast. I already butchered the intro. Let's get started. I'm Lord of Nothing and joined by, again,
Me,
and everyone is terrified.
your friendly neighborhood Punknaught.
I think there's city ordinances against that.
You're not in my city.
True. Speaking of your city, did you ever get that burger funded?
I did not know.
Oh. Then no one will know of the great burger, the Punknaught burger.
I'll go there, make friends, and I'll get a burger anyways.
True. Well, hello everyone. Welcome back to the Jester's Court podcast, where we're going to be discussing games we've been playing this week, what news there is in video gaming, and eventually to the releases. And you are very excited to tell us what you've been playing this week.
I've been playing South Park: The Fractured Butthole, and loving every damn minute of it.
Did you need suppositories for it?
Negative.
Good. That would be a bad end on their marketing. So, this is about different guys than the original one, right?
Yes, I believe this one was done by Obsidian had a hand in it, and then they had a few other companies kind of with Obsidian help out.
Okay, so I'm going to put the spoilers tag on everyone here, so we're going to be discussing the game in spoiler terms.
Yes, many spoilers coming, because some of the funniest moments spoil the storyline.
Spoiler tag is incoming, so give us the rundown. What is the Fractured Butthole? For those people who have been under a rock.
Are you ready with your spoiler tag?
Spoiler tag is ongoing.
Okay, so game starts out kind of where the Stick of Truth left off, is you've become, big spoiler, you're the king at the end of Stick of Truth. You win, everybody kind of worships you. You're still the new kid, that's all it is. You never really talk in the first game except at the end where you say, screw you guys, I'm going home.
Which is
this
the best way to
game
end
you
it.
don't, yeah, in this game you don't talk at all, but you're basically woken up, you get dressed, everything like that, you go out, you go to the bathroom, you take your crap. That's one of the mini games. There's actually an achievement to go crap in every toilet in town and beat the mini game in every toilet.
So it's more than just press the button to fill up the gauge like it was in the last one?
Yes, this one is like, use because I have a control pad, so you have to find the sweet spot with your analog sticks, then hit the right trigger, and that starts the mini game. And then like and it depends on how many stars it is how many steps you have to do in the mini game. So if it's 4 stars, you have 4 steps to complete.
So who has the hardest toilets?
They're kind of all over the place. One of the hardest ones later on in the game is you have, I want to say there's Freeman's Tacos.
Yeah, I can see that.
And that's from Morgan Freeman. Morgan Freeman has his own taco stand. He teaches you how to fart and rewind time and change night into day and vice versa.
Mm-hmm.
He is your fart teacher, your sensei. But the game starts, you're king, you walk out of your room, see your parents arguing, they say your friends are downstairs, you go downstairs, and it's Kyle and Butters in their Stick of Truth gear saying, King, you have to come help us, the Moors are attacking, save us. So it starts a little bit of a mini game. It's kind of like your intro. It lets you know how the combat system has changed. At one point in time, the Moors, release the dragon, and it's a cardboard box that's kind of colored green, and it's on a wagon, and they reel it out to into the street, everything like that. And that's where you're fighting most of the time, is you're in the street.
So the Moors are also other kids, right?
Yes, the Moors are also other kids, and their armor is so strong because it's bike helmets. So you take on the dragon, like halfway through the dragon fight, somebody, Kyle's in the middle of explaining something. He goes, car! Like right in the middle of explaining something. So everybody gets out of the way and a car drives by and it's like, damn kids, stay out of the fucking road. And then, okay, game on. And they reel you back out. And then, okay, you're set. So randomly, you'll have a car come by in your combat, and the combat stops, and all the kids go up on the sidewalk, and you'll see like 2 or 3 of them pull out their phones and start playing on that. And it's like, okay, game on. The phones go away and out. Combat continues.
Okay, I like that, actually.
So in the storyline, you have to kind of pay attention to the current South Park season. They do a tie-in like they did with the last one, with Stick of Truth. This one is you have Coon and Friends, and they're trying to do a big comic book franchise to get paid a lot of money. That's how they're going to make their billions of dollars. Well, there's a split halfway down because kids aren't exactly happy with the way their characters are going to set up and everything like that. So you have Coon and Friends and the Freedom Pals, and it's essentially Marvel versus DC, and you get a lot of inside jokes about that throughout the game.
Okay.
And so you start out as a member, basically going to Koopa Keeve, which was where the Cartman's house. That's where you were based out of originally.
Where you were part of the KKK.
Yes, you were part of the KKK. It was like Koopa Keep Club or something like that.
Mm-hmm. All spelled with K's.
Yes.
That was
so
very
in
amusing.
This one, you go downstairs. You have to find like a code to get in because Cartman has security, so his mom can't get into the basement. And they're discussing what to do. They want to find, basically the whole premise starts of like, there's a lost cat and there's $100 reward. If we can get this $100, we can get Netflix to option our fucking shit and we can make millions.
Okay.
It's a very kid thing to think, like, hey, if we had this $100, this is everything in the world to us. We can get this $100 and we can get this done. Which again ties into the not the most recent episode of South Park, but the previous one, when the game released, essentially. So you join up and you have an option of 3 classes when you first start: the Speedster, the Pugilist, and the Elementalist, or the Blaster, I think it is. And very basic stuff. And the story is, you get a little backstory for each one, and they're a little different just to kind of show your moves. But essentially, it all boils down to, like, you wake up in the middle of the night, you hear your mom screaming for help or something like that. You get up, there's people with like crowbars, like full on adults, like trying to rob the house. You beat them, you open the door to your mom and dad's room, and you find out that your dad fucked your mom. And that's why you became a superhero, because you couldn't stop your dad from fucking your mom.
Oh my.
And at one point in time, like, even Kyle goes, that is the stupidest fucking thing ever. Everybody's dad fucked everybody's mom. And this is coming from Cartman, who doesn't have a dad. So he's like, oh yeah, like everybody's dad fucked their mom.
Wait,
So it's like, okay.
Isn't his dad like some guy he kills?
It ends up, yeah, his dad ends up being someone he kills, but his dad was somebody on the Denver Broncos at one point in time.
That's funny.
So he lets you join up. You get a basic outfit. You're supposed to go help people. And that's what you do. You go out, get your name out there. And in the last game, you had essentially like the Facebook type thing. You had all your friends. You had to make sure that you had more friends than anybody. On this one, it's Coonstagram. And you have to take selfies with everybody. That's how you get more followers, and that's how more people like you.
So did you get to take a selfie with Mr.
You have to go help out other people from Coon and Friends. One of them is Clyde, who is Mosquito. And he talks with a really nasally, we gotta go do this. But every character has kryptonite. So as you're going to help these people out, you're filling out your character sheet. So like, you start out the game, and the difficulty slider, as we discussed last week, was easiest is white, hardest is black. So for my second playthrough, I decided to play as a black child on Mastermind difficulty to see how bad it was.
And?
I've only died on button mashing, like out in the real world shit. Nothing in combat has given me too many problems yet. Although when you try to take on Morgan Freeman, I know that's where I'm going to fuck up every time.
So how difficult was the game when you played it before?
I went right in the center, so I was kind of, I guess you would say, Hispanic, or just really tanned person.
So you weren't deported?
No, but and it wasn't too bad that way. And at some point in time, you can change your, because you talk to different people. So at one point in time, you need to discuss what your sex is. So you go talk to Mr. Mackey. So you go, okay, are you a boy or are you a girl? And you say, okay, well, or an other. So at first I said I'm an other, and that I wasn't, and that I was like into pretty much anything that would fuck me, because that's what I do in most role-playing games. Is like, I'm a trisexual. I'll try anything once.
This is true.
So, and that's the way I start out. And Mackie calls your parents and just confirms, okay, is your, and I can't remember the term, but they have all the terms down to make a lot of the people who pay attention to these terms make them happy. Like it is a proper terminology for like the 26 different genders that are out there now.
I thought it was like more than that, but continue.
So when you leave the school, and this happened because I've tried different times, different ways, is that if you go out as just a cis male who's into women, so you're just a standard heterosexual kid, you come out and a bunch of rednecks show up. Well, when you're like whatever it was, they come out and we don't take kindly to your kind here, and you start a combat with them. Okay, fine. When you come out, it's like, look, it's one of them cisgendered males who's into women. We don't like your kind around here.
What?
Which made it even funnier for me.
Okay.
Because it's whatever you are, they don't like.
Okay, kind of makes sense.
So even if you're a girl, they don't like you. If you're a boy, I mean, it's just to kind of start combat. So you do that and you take them out. Okay, fine, there you go. At one point in time, you meet up with PC Principal, and he teaches you how to attack somebody for their microaggressions. So people talk shit as you're getting into combat or in combat. There's a lot of chatter going around and everything like that. So people on your side, on your team, will say like, Super Craig goes up and punches somebody, and Mosquito go, "Good job, Super Craig. Their blood pools nicely at their feet, so I can drink it up." And Super Craig goes, "Dude, dial it back a little." But there's other people that are like, they call you a sissy or a wuss or something like that. And all of a sudden it goes, microaggression, and you have to hit A, and you can walk up and get a free hit on them because they gave you a microaggression.
Oh, good lord.
So as you go through you don't really see the Freedom Pals too much until you need to contact one of them. I think Timmy is one of the funniest fucking ones because Timmy is essentially a Professor X.
Are you serious?
Yeah. So he doesn't say anything, and at some point in time, he puts his hand up to his head, and he talks to everybody, and you get a normal voice out of him.
Okay, that's funny.
But yeah, really Timmy is Professor X. And you have other things. You have Human Kite and Tool Shed and things like that. As the story progresses, you're finding out like they bring back the whole cheesing thing, which I don't know if you remember that. That was kind of their mashup and send off to heavy metal.
Mm-hmm.
So you find out that somebody is taking cat urine and putting it into all the drugs and alcohol and really driving people nuts and getting people so fucked up they don't know what to do. And
okay.
It just kind of deteriorates from there. It gets really funny. There's some really funny spots. Like the PC Principal thing was really funny. Going up and you have to talk to the priest at the church, and he opens the door and says, you must face your greatest fears. And two other priests are in there like, oh, we're going to give you a back rub and this and that. Well, you find out they're real priests. And like the father comes out, is like, I can't leave you alone with any kids forever. And they start, it starts a little argument there, and they run off. We're going to tell the Queen Spider, and which is another thing from one of their episodes from like 6 seasons back.
Okay.
The Catholic Church is ran by a Queen Spider. You just have to watch all 23 seasons to get a lot of the jokes in this.
So it's definitely for people who play or watch the show.
Yeah, it definitely plays into a lot of what if people watch the show, you can enjoy it without watching the show, but I think you'll get a lot of more of the inside jokes that way. Like you find out like the person who's in charge of everything is Mitch Connor.
Okay.
Mitch Connor is Cartman's left-hand puppet. So it's essentially all Cartman. But it like I said, it's you won't know who Mitch Connor is unless you watch the freaking series. But Mitch Connor is the main antagonist, and you have to end up taking him out. You go back in time, you fight mutants, you fight 5-ass 6th graders, shit like that. It's all stuff from the series.
So in the end, can you have Cartman fight Mitch Connor?
One of the final fights actually is you have to get because at one point in time, like Kyle puts his hand up and starts talking like Mitch Connor, his hand does, And it's all to try and get Cartman to say it was his fault, and yeah, he did it. And like even Cartman's pointing out, see, he's just trying to catch me in this trick. It's like, so you're saying it's a trick, right? And so you end up fighting Kyle and Cartman with Mitch Connor hands, and it just goes downhill from there.
Good lord.
But you get to go back in time with your origin story, stop your dad from fucking your mom, and everything turns out fine. At one point in time, you have to escape Dr. Mephisto's genetic laboratory. He's the guy who likes to put multiple asses on things.
I remember him. I actually did see him.
And so at one point in time, it needs a DNA sample. And so what you need to do is you either need to rip your mother's arm off because it's already mangled, and so to get a DNA sample that way, but she'll die from blood loss, or use a machine to cut your dad's head off and do the same thing to get out. So it makes you kill one of your parents to get out of this area and progress the storyline. And right after that happens, everybody blames everything on you. It's all your fault. Like, they don't even know that you killed your parents. They just know that, hey, we're like 2 weeks behind because the new kid farted us into the future.
Good lord.
So yeah, it a lot of funny stuff. The combat was really good. It's kind of like an old school like tactics RPG combat system. Everybody has their moves. At certain points, you'll hit certain storyline milestones, and you'll get another class that you can add to it. So, like I started out as a blaster, and then I changed to like a pugilist, and then I decided to add on a cyborg, which was one of the funniest things I ever did, because like the ultimate for the cyborg is you just have fucking guns pop out of everywhere and just blast the shit out of stuff, which is a very Punknaught thing to do.
Yes, it is. You do this.
So yeah, it was very entertaining. Had a lot of fun with it. Like I said, I'm trying to go through and play as a black child, as a black character, and complete the game on Mastermind difficulty. That is one of the achievements. I'm actually only down 10 achievements to finish everything off.
You've had this game for less than a week.
This is what I do. Like, nobody understands it. Like, I work a shit ton of overtime, and then I sleep, and then everything that doesn't involve work and sleep, I am playing a game religiously, like just plowing through it.
Good lord. Let me just go to your Steam profile real quick.
I've got like 19 hours on it.
If I could get this freaking friends list to pop open.
So yeah, it was about 18 hours of playtime for the first playthrough on medium difficulty.
Good lord, you've got a lot of achievements. You are a level 22 on Steam.
Yes.
And it's 19.2 hours. Played last night.
So yeah, so like last night, an hour last night was just setting up the new game to play the new character. And so I think like one of the hardest ones is probably going to be the farts over freckles, which is pick a fight with Morgan Freeman and defeat him.
If you complete the token experience, the one you're going for, you will be part of 1.8 of the player base.
Yeah. There is one of the funniest things, one of the side quests is to find all of the Tweak X Craig shit, because there was an episode, I want to say it was last season, no, 2 seasons ago, where they introduced Yowie.
Oh, Lord.
And it was all Tweak and Craig. And so these two kids had no idea what the fuck it was. They get introduced to, Tweak and Craig and Yowie stuff by seeing themselves in these pictures from all these girls from the school.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
And so they end up becoming a couple at one point in time, and they're still a couple up to this point. And it's some of the funniest things, because in this game, they're split up. Craig is part of Coon and Friends, Tweak is part of Freedom Pals, and they argue constantly until you go to couples therapy with them and help them get over all their differences. Then their fucking ultimate changes, and oh my god, it is the funniest fucking ultimate in the world.
It's gay as shit.
Yeah, well, see what happens. Everybody has like this little cutscene when they do their ultimate. So like Jimmy, who is Fast Pass, runs around the world 3 times, lighting on fire a la Superman. and like smacks somebody really good. Okay, fine. Human Kite flies up into the air and shoots like 3 huge laser beams down and just nukes the world. Coon has one where he like whips something out of his back pocket, and it's like all of these like Entertainment Weekly and Actor Studio and stuff like that before he hits everybody and makes them bleed. Shit like that.
Oh Lord.
But the Tweak, normally the Craig one starts out with, he's got like a hamster and he like charges in and there you go. And Tweak has one where he just lights people, uses lightning and hits people that way. Once they're together as a couple again, then they both have the same ultimate. And let me see if I can find a video for you so you can link it. But it is freaking hilarious because it goes all hardcore anime style. I mean, like there's subtitles in Japanese, they're speaking in Japanese, and then the soundtrack behind them, if you remember the old anime episode of South Park where the kids get weapons and they're going around in anime form, is the Let's Fighting Love, or Protect My Bowels.
Oh Lord. Yeah, bring it up. I'll see if I can put it on.
So yeah, definitely worth it.
I can put it on the screen. Though my podcast viewer scene is not that great yet, but we can make it work. Oh, he found it.
So yeah, this one shows like the first time they make it work, and it's actually part of the couples counseling combat that you do.
Okay, here we go.
Right, it's on screen.
But yeah, it's just so great. It's fucking hilarious.
Wonder Tweak. Oh my god.
So, but there's basically like, that's one of the things you have to find is all the yaoi fan art. And like, there's like 40 of these motherfucking things everywhere, and it's all a puzzle to find it. I did take out Jared. That was a funny fight because you find out that the cops are arresting all the black people for just being black.
Okay.
And so you're sitting there, you go up, you're finally facing like the chief of police, and he goes, we don't have all black prisoners. We do have one white one, and I'm going to leave him to you. And he runs, and it's fucking Jared from Subway. And some of his fucking attacks, like he holds a sandwich in his crotch and like thrusts it into your face to do damage to you. So he's beating your face with a foot long. Just so fucking wrong.
That's ridiculous. That is absolutely ridiculous.
And I just sent you another link to the all of the ultimates.
Okay, I'll play through a couple of these real quick.
Because some of them are fucking great. Like the Human Kite one's kind of funny. The cyborg one is like I said, you have like a minigun on each side and then 2 cannons on each side, and like 4 lasers pop up over your head, and you just blast the shit out of stuff.
Good lord.
So yeah, but they're all fucking hilarious.
Let's skip ahead a little bit. Let's see what's this next one.
Wendy as Call Girl.
Oh my god.
And she uses phones and things like that, but she does a Pokemon Go that damages everybody.
No mercy.
I do like Butters and Professor Chaos.
Did he just use a suicide bomb?
Which one?
The guy with the question mark.
Oh, Mysterion, yeah, no, he pretty much sacrifices himself to damage enemies.
And then apparently now he's like
a ghost.
He gets 72
that's
versions.
Kenny.
Oh, 72 versions and then immediately leaves. Goes back to Earth.
Yeah, so you return to life and heal all your friends. because you find out why all of that happens in the fucking game in the series. You find out that he's the child of a cultist of cults, and he was basically, his family worshipped Cthulhu, and every time he dies, he is born again that night, and then by the morning he wakes up to. There you go. Yeah, so right after that is Wonder Creek's original fucking ultimate.
Yeah, okay, I'm getting the gist of this.
So yeah, everybody has stuff based on their characters, things like that, which is always great.
This guy is an Assassin's Creed outfit.
Oh yeah, no, that's one of the things you could get for like pre-ordering the game and shit.
Yeah, because it's made by Ubisoft.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that's a bit
Upper Mech
ridiculous.
is fucking hilarious. It's just like Iron Man.
That is ridiculousness in all of its-ness.
The brutalist one is where you just kind of snap and beat the shit out of something. The cyborg one happens around the 6-minute mark.
You're liking this. I'm assuming you're liking this game very much.
Oh, I loved it, dude.
So on a Punknaught scale of approval, 1 to 10.
It's all. Oh yeah, 10 for sure.
All right, I can take off the spoiler tag because I think we're good with this one. Anything else you've been playing this week?
Still going back to Civ 6, hoping that some of the mods get updated because one mod got updated, so it kind of fixed it, but it just runs so slow still. So I gotta wait for it to get updated for them to find this issue and fix it.
Yeah, I saw a couple of mods last night have been uploaded. I played a lot of ukulele this week because it finally got a bug fix for specifically my build of computer, where the enemies will now die.
Yay!
So I actually can play the game I kickstarted.
Good times.
So yeah, if you've ever played Banjo-Kazooie, which I don't think you have.
Maybe years ago when it first came out on PlayStation.
Super 64.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, like forever ago. Yeah, if you ever played any sort of like collectathon platformer, this is pretty similar. They instituted a new feature for how the dialogue works because some people don't like that for how they do the dialogue. So it's just it just does the and just does all the dialogue.
Okay.
And I was like, yeah, I turned that because as a kid I didn't care.
Yeah, it's just all part of the game.
As an adult, I now care. So I turned that on, and I've been playing through. I got through most of the first world, and I'm on the second world now, which I think I have most of it done. It's mostly a game where you are a lizard and a bat, a very greedy bat, that are looking to fill a magical book and stop the evil capital B, who is a evil corporatist B, from rewriting reality.
Okay.
Sounds original, doesn't it?
I'm just gonna smile and nod.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I know. Gameplay wise, I'm finding it pretty similar to how the old school platformers used to be. However, people keep telling me like, no, you should try that. You should try Hat in Time, which just recently came out, which is made by a bunch of Finns, if I heard correctly.
Gotcha.
Other than that, I played. I started the free play of Torment: Tides of Numenera.
Nice. How far did you get?
I got to, after me dying and doing a little bit of talking around the people in the Order of Truth, and then I had to go take my roommate to work. But that was interesting. Start the game off. May as well throw the spoiler tag up again. Start the game off. You're falling from the moon. At least I assume so. You're falling?
Yeah, you're like a fucking whale that just got fucking plopped into existence because of an improbability drive.
References! Yeah, and I fall and fall and fall, and then I get put into a mind maze, I guess?
Yeah, that's kind of how it starts out, and then you kind of get out of that.
And I wake up and I'm talking to these weird people. These weird people tell me I'm apparently an immortal god, but I'm only the shell of an immortal god. So I have to go find the actual god. There were I don't I think playing off of Pillars, which was developed at the same time as this one, and somewhat by the same people. I can sort of see the similarities, but I don't. I'm not so far. I'm not seeing as much character in Torment.
There's not as much, and I think that was one of my issues with it. Is it was you are a blank slate, and there's not a lot to you. It's just like that's what it is. It's like you have this history, and like random things will pop up, and people will talk to you about, oh, you were the god this, but you're just the empty shell, and we know people like that, and that's just one of the things of this world, and you get used to it and deal with it. And it's like, well, wait a second.
I felt like I mean I even felt like in the companion character. Now some of like the side people. Like, there was like the first person I talked to outside of the main quest was this guy who's just standing off to the side and is like it's like, oh, you have biomechanical arms. What's up with that? He's like, well, I got attacked by this device because before I had to cast off my arms to birth my children. Say what?
Yeah, there are some issues where it doesn't seem like they put as much into some of the NPCs that they could have.
I mean, I found that really interesting, but it felt like maybe it's because maybe I mean I know what it is. I think I know what it is. It felt like the very first conversation you have with your companion characters, the ones where they first meet you, maybe it's because like there's like no dialogue, like there's no like voice acting at all. And then when you get out, there's a little bit of voice acting. It felt like there's like some disconnect there. But
Yeah.
I did like now one thing I wish more RPGs had that this game did, and we discussed this last night when I was playing it. The scan thoughts ability for dialogue. Yes. That is cool. And it brings a lot more to the table in telling you what these the people you're talking to are thinking.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's mostly been my week. A lot of stuff with the new job and playing ukulele.
Sounds about right.
Yeah. You got anything else before we move on to what news we have?
Not really. I mean, that's pretty much about it.
Well, we found out what actually went down with the with Visceral. What was the nitty gritty details? Turns out we were right. EA is completely to blame.
Yeah, but I did see a article with a few quotes from somebody who worked there who said it was like a mercy killing.
Yeah.
Like, it wasn't going to work from the beginning, and they knew it.
But I think like a lot of the problems that Visceral had continue to stem from EA's interference.
Oh, I'm sure. Because I mean, look at some of the stuff that BioWare did is because EA's in charge.
I mean, like they were talking. There was an article. I think it was Kotaku put up a bit. They were talking about EA started getting kind of angry at how Visceral was working after Dead Space 3 did not perform to their satisfaction, which is also the game that had the majority of EA's influence.
Yeah.
And you can definitely tell there's no introspection going on at EA.
Well, we can actually tie two subjects together. In South Park, there is a episode where they take on EA and are not happy with them.
Okay.
It's the Crack Baby basketball league or something like that.
Okay, I'm gonna Google this.
Two crack babies are fighting over a vial of crack, and they go to EA to get the game made and everything else like that. And it's basically a call up to like the NCAA stuff where EA has the rights to NCAA games and can use the likenesses of all these kids, but they don't have to pay the kids for actually doing any of this stuff because you can't do this. You can't get paid to play sports in college officially. So that's kind of what they were going after. Is it like, hey, look, these people are doing this, and it's EA is a dirty company. They really are.
Crack Baby Athletic Association. Founded on the South Park wiki. Yeah, they are an absolute scumbag of a company. And I looked up to find out who is the current head of EA. His name is Andrew Wilson. And I just wanted to see one thing to tell me what sort of background this guy has. He's been with EA for 17 years. Not as the CEO, but guess what division he came from?
Human resources.
EA Sports.
Yeah.
That's why this whole idea they keep pushing this whole idea of games as a service, because EA Sports is like just re-release the same game every year. They eat it up.
Oh yeah, pretty much. I mean, Madden, fucking any of the basketball games, anything like that. It's the same game
FIFA.
every year. There's very few things that change. Well, yeah, FIFA. Everybody loves FIFA, but I'm more of a the other one, the Pro Evolution Soccer.
Yeah, but it's like they continue to produce the same thing every year, and they keep buying up these franchises or these companies that don't do that, and they don't understand that, and they want to, and EA wants to put their culture onto these other companies, even ones they make, like Visceral, which was not an EA Sports style company. They want to produce that on. So, apparently the Star Wars game that was going to be coming out originally was going to be a Pirates game. However, Electronic Arts told them, no, you're not going to do that. You're going to make a Star Wars game because Ubisoft is making a Pirates game in Assassin's Creed Black Flag, and we're not going to get tarnished by that. So we're not going to look like we made the shitty Pirates game when they made the good ones. So you're just going to make a Star Wars game and kick them out of the water.
Yeah.
It's like, well, we've already got like 2 years of this Star Wars with this Pirates game, so I guess we'll move it to Space Pirates. And then they killed it.
Wow.
So yeah, that's the whole thing down with Visceral concerning what happened to them.
I do have a little bit of news. It's probably old news for some people.
All right, I haven't heard it.
So, do you know what Jolt Cola is?
I have no clue.
Jolt Cola is a Coke or a Coke kind of product, a soda product that came out in, I want to say, the 90s that had twice the caffeine of a...
Wait, yes, I remember this.
Okay, so they re-released it. They're out again. But you can only buy them at Dollar General stores.
Seriously? Okay, continue.
It's the only place to get Jolt Cola now. But Jolt Cola is available again for those of you who are caffeine freaks and want to kind of have the nostalgia of having that Jolt Cola again.
Probably literally the worst place to ever go and get anything is Dollar General.
Well, there are 2 locations in my area that will serve this. One of them is in a lovely place called Sun Valley, which, if you watch Reno 911, that's pretty much what they equate Reno to.
Okay.
So it's a lot of trailers and a lot of weird people.
Wait, I've seen that. I've seen that. I've seen the pictures of that place.
Yeah, so it was in the Guinness Book of World Records for being the largest mobile home park at one point in time until a refugee camp in like Kenya took over. It still is the most convicted felons per capita in the world.
Okay, that's ridiculous.
That's Sun Valley, Nevada.
That's your backyard.
Pretty much, yeah. But that's the only place to go to get Jolt really close. Otherwise, I got to drive for like 40 minutes to get to the next one, which is the meth capital of the Western states. That's another valley out there.
Okay.
So yeah, that's I either got to go to meth infested territory or convicted felon territory. Sometimes they're not mutually exclusive, but in this case, they are.
It's Nevada. It's all the same, really.
So yeah, if I want some jolt, I gotta go like slumming more than usual.
In other news, apparently the new Mario game is finally fucking out.
Yeah, and I don't play it, so
I will probably eventually get it once I get a Switch, and apparently I'm seeing overall high amounts of praise for it.
most Mario games are pretty good though.
I mean, yeah, they're pretty similar most of the time. I say this one looks very different compared to all the other ones. This one's like has a lot of different things. So I did see I could possess, though Nintendo did not like me using the word possess, a T-Rex. So I think that's kind of cool. They were very adamant about people not calling it possession.
Yeah.
Let's see. Well, now we can move on. I guess we can move on to release. We can have a short show today. Let's see here. Oh, Bubsy is coming out on Halloween. I guess that's appropriate. Do you remember Bubsy?
Sounds familiar.
It was in that age of platforming mascots like Mario and Sonic, of a company trying to give itself a platforming mascot, a la
yeah.
Earthworm Jim and all those things, and it was consideredly cited as one of the worst games of that era. Someone has gotten the hold of the license. I'm not even sure if it's the original developers. But that's fine if it's not. And
why?
because hopefully they can get it, and hopefully maybe they want to stop seeing all this terrible fan art they see of Bubsy, where he's become like a crack user because he's so depressed. Yeah, that's a thing. Let's see. So Final Fantasy 15 has been announced apparently for PC, so that's a thing. Cartoon Network Battle Crashers is coming for the Switch. What is this? No artwork. Okay, that's great. Steven Universe is getting a video game that comes out on Halloween, so I'll never hear the end of it once Sarah sees that. Mario Party comes out next month. Tokyo Tattoo Girls is coming for the Vita. Go on.
Anything else?
Not for a bit. Nothing big enough for the bit. We're still waiting on actually, Battle Quest, Rush, a Disney Pixar adventure, Beast Quest, Monopoly for the Nintendo Switch, a must-have for the system. Oh, is that Dresden Files? Dresden Files.
I think we went over most of the upcoming titles. I don't think anything new's been released.
Yeah, nothing big. Yeah, Pokemon is coming out next month. And Assassin's Creed Origins released yesterday. However, I don't think either of us care. Because it's Assassin's Creed, and I don't think you've played an Assassin's Creed game in years. Punk? Hello? Punk, you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, you were being very quiet, I guess.
Well, yeah, I figured you were looking up release stuff.
Oh, yeah, I see. Yeah,
I said we went over all the release stuff last week pretty well, so.
Yeah, I think we're good on the releases unless someone can come up with something really big. Yeah, I think we're good.
I think we pretty much went to the end of the year for the most part.
Yeah, unless something unexpected comes up or we want to discuss some of it. So yeah, I think we are good for this week. We'll Unless you have anything else you want to add.
Not really. I mean, I could go on for South Park for days, but I'll let some. I've spoiled enough of it. I think we should let the people who listen enjoy it for themselves if they haven't already.
Yeah, I probably should remember to turn off the spoiler tag. But yeah, it's I think we're good to next week. We will see you folks next week. You can find us all on the in the doobly doo at YouTube, Lord of Nothing, BitChute, Lord of Nothing. Punk, you want to sell yourself out?
Nope, I got nowhere to be.
Just work forever.
Work, video games. That's all I do.
And masturbate.
Nah, I've got a girlfriend.
Damn you. All right, everyone. Good night. Good day. Whatever else. See you next week.
See ya.